Hello everyone, I'm Eugene and welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Drummer's Diary Saga. Once again, I'm trying to keep the series fresh and interesting, so I thought showing you something like the shooting of a band video clip might be a pretty unique experience. There are still many useful things to learn about touring, but a video production can be really cool and fun as well. This particular episode will be about Fleshgod Apocalypse's No single, shooting of which took place in October 2020 in Rome, Italy, and was later released in December same year. As always, I will try to keep the video as educational and entertaining as possible. This also marks the very first episode in the series about Fleshgod, so buckle up, adventure awaits. As mentioned earlier, shooting took place in Rome, Italy. We traveled to an awesome location called Forte Prenestino, which according to the Wikipedia is a large self-managed social center based in a squatted fort that was built between 1880 and 1884. The outdoor location reminded me a bit of Christiania in Copenhagen, Denmark. And no wonder, because from 1977 onwards, Forte Prenestino was used as a dump by the municipality of Rome. In other words, a perfect place for a metal band to dump their video clip. Talking about dumping, that's exactly what I'm gonna do next.
Okay, there's one thing I forgot to show you. So yeah, we've been here before, and these are the only options for a bathroom. So the typical festival toy. Okay, so they have this like lever here. You want to know about toilets? Flushes it away, see? Now I'm gonna do a little bit of Nergal marketing. So guys, are you ready for your intergalactic trip? Yeah, let's take this bitch. It was funnier in my imagination.
Let's take a look inside.
Into the tunnel.
The lovely guys and girls of Sanda Movies crew were here days before we arrived. Apparently they had to do some pre-production work like removing graffitis, disinfecting and cleaning the place. They set up our so-called backstage, prepared the makeup rooms and some catering.
The dungeon.
The interior of the fort looked like some sort of prison. Each one of us had a nice private cell for the solo scenes. Francesco's piano was located upstairs on a balcony for practical reasons. Now I wanted to show you our daily schedule for shooting the video, which is as important as a tour schedule. Recall the South American schedule from episode 5? Being able to babysit more than 20 people on the set simultaneously is no easy task, so it's crucial that everyone follows instructions precisely to be on time with everything. Since your Italian might not be as fluent as mine, I will do my best to translate this for you. Band, Italian for band. Arrivo, scarico, montaggio. Arrival at 8 AM, unloading and setting up.
Okay, ragazzi.
Bella.
Paolo trucco. Makeup for Paolo. Piccio giornata. 9:30 AM. Briefing. Basically everyone is informed of their duties. Pianoforte su soppalco. 10 AM. Bring the piano upstairs. At this point, I wanted to thank Francesco Paoli, who was driving me to the set, and we were late. And because of this, we have successfully dodged the responsibility to carry the piano upstairs.
Tip number 50. Not being punctual can cause you trouble, but also help avoiding hard physical labor. In addition, Italians won't judge you harshly for that.
Paolo, ready? Trucco snuppi Veronica. 10:30 AM. Apparently it was supposed to take 1.5 hours for Paolo's makeup. Veronica had it worse, spending around 6 hours doing makeup for a 15-second scene. Fulfilling the role of Mother Nature requires sacrifices. Talk about Hollywood superstar problems. Not that I'm a huge fan of fasted workouts, but since I had time before lunch, that's exactly what I did. I slept around 2 hours that day, so I started feeling sleepy and tired at this point. This abandoned Silent Hill-style playground in the fort was the perfect place to move around and wake up. Snuppi ready, pranzo ferro. 12 PM. Apparently we ate ferro for lunch. While we were chilling at the table, poor Fabio was sweating his butt off shooting his scenes. He didn't like the idea and wanted a bite of ferro as well, so we had no choice but to chain him to the wall. In this particular scene, you can see the mischievous and crafty Fabio speeding up the original song in order to finish shooting his part sooner so he can have lunch as well. Trucco ferro. 1 PM. Somehow for some reason Ferro had to put his makeup on after being eaten. Pranzo. 1 PM. Another lunch because Ferro didn't seem to be satiating enough. Batteria montata. 2:30 PM. Change the camera batteries. It actually meant setting up the drum kit. But me being a good boy, I had it already done beforehand.
Work complete.
so that obviously meant more free time for me digging around in my dungeon quest.
Ooh, it's gonna be a backwards time lapse that nobody asked for.
A very deep tunnel with a variety of different graffitis. Pretty cool.
Oh no, tits, I get demonetized. Why do people smoke here? Oh, this is weird. Harry Potter stuff. A cock. Gojira. Hello, a light in the end of the tunnel, I'm coming.
Ferro, ready? Truccol Eugene. By 2:30 PM, Ferro was fully digested and I was ready to start doing my makeup. Every once in a while I try to time my own makeup session and usually it takes me around 5 minutes or less.
Ciao. No, got cracks.
But this was a special occasion so we all had to look super fancy with moss covering our bodies. Eugene ready. At 4 PM we shot the drums.
I think Kerry King is cool, he's badass because he's got chains. I'm also into this stuff. Safety word is blast beat.
By now you could have guessed that the acoustics of this place were far from perfect. While the others could fake their performance in a way by silently playing to the click blasting from the PA, I, on the other hand, had no choice but to play everything note per note as if I was recording the song in the studio. But as a compensation for my hard work, I got to enjoy watching everyone going deaf from the loud noise I made. Trucco frappa. 4 PM, Francesco's makeup. As you can see, in order to save time, we often shot scenes while the others were already preparing for theirs. Frappa ready. 5:30 PM, shooting Francesco's solo scenes. Okay, it's time for a super cool life hack. Maybe it will come as a surprise, but by the time we were shooting this video, the song was without a title. Another fun fact is that some of the lyrics were literally finalized while driving to Rome on the day of shooting. Because the material was finished last minute, it was so fresh we still felt quite unconfident. As a safety measure, we used a lyric stunt double, namely Paolo.
Tip number 51. During a video shoot, make sure you use all the help you can get from people standing on the other side of the camera to make things easier.
Ripasso trucco tutti. 6 PM, updating everyone's makeup if needed. Some of us were waiting for hours before the second take where the whole band was shot, so this was necessary.
4 hours later, time for round 2.
Scena generale. 7 PM, full band shots. Although it was not very cold down there, we were all sweaty of course. I don't envy Paolo, who was the first one done with his solo scenes and had to stay in character the whole day. Personally for me, there is probably nothing worse than being warmed up, cooling down and warming up again. At this point you feel even more sleepy, cold and tired than before, so the fastest way to wake up is doing some cardio.
Tip number 52. If you gotta perform on short notice, intense physical exercises like rope skipping can wake you up in 10-20 minutes.
Also, consumption of delicious Italian cuisine is very useful in order to give you a small but immediate serotonin boost.
Penne with some cheese, basil and tomatoes.
Unfortunately for everyone, I was the only one who could use a metronome during the full band shots. So in order to stay in sync, they had to pretend to be following me and endure the prison acoustics. Some of the crew members couldn't take this torture anymore and simply fled the scene. Veronica ready. Finally at 8:30 PM, it was time for her 15-second spotlight. Frappa ready, voice only. 9:30 PM, Francesco's vocal scenes. While the others were still shooting, I could start taking off my makeup, which was super glued to my skin. Same goes for taking care of the equipment, especially the shells which were rented.
Tip number 53. After shooting clips with Italian bands, it's essential that you remove the seasoning from the gear.
As you can see, overall the schedule looks super pro and very well planned with enough time for emergency delays. We did our absolute best to stick to it and were supposed to wrap up everything around 11 PM. But due to inevitable and unforeseen complications, everything got pushed later and the hours slowly added up. So by the time we were done with everything, it was around 2 or 3 in the morning. So that's why if you can save the day by getting ahead of the schedule, do it as much as possible.
Tip number 54. If someone from the band or crew is slacking, you can help out by adjusting your own personal duties. Teamwork is the key to success.
It's time to slowly wrap this episode up. I hope you enjoyed it and could learn something new. As you can see, even shooting a simple looking band video like this is an insane amount of hard work. And although by the time we came back home it was already 24 hours without sleep, I enjoyed every moment of this day and had a total blast. Out of all different activities a band can have, like touring, studio sessions and rehearsals, a video shooting is probably my absolute favorite experience. And for this I wanted to thank all the folks in Fleshgod Apocalypse and Sanda Movies crew. I hope to be back with a new episode of the Traveling Drummer's Diary saga soon. Eugene, out. Ciao, grazie. Impressed by this precision? Me too. This is all achievable thanks to the Footblaster Triggers. Make sure that you head to footblaster.com and use the code Eugene in order to get a discount for your next Footblaster Trigger purchase.
Now I'm gonna do a little bit of Nergal marketing. So guys, are you ready for your intergalactic trip? Yeah, let's take this bitch. It was funnier in my imagination.
Let's take a look inside.
Into the tunnel.